Is it picking up? What do we got? Who's on? Who do we got? That's going to drive me crazy with that one. Yep. What's going on? Let me know if anything starts screwing up. The angle's unfortunate because you're going to miss out on the outrageous. Had to do it. I guess if I lean back, you get it in there. 89. Yeah, I did not even think about glam metal or like, anything. Because there's so much present tense shit like for me to go through, because this is the year that like I got to get my own records and shit, and like it just totally changes everything. Like 89 is the first summer I have a summer job, and I'm making like pocket money, $40 or something like a week, and like so I can go like get rides or buy shit, you know what I mean? So it's very different when we get to 89 for me, because I'm actually like buying my own records and trying to find out about cool shit. And I guess, and it would be probably a good to get it out of the way, but like, so this is when I have friends who go to Boston College High School because like their parents don't want them to go to, even though we have one of the best public schools in the country in my hometown, you still like, particularly a lot of times Catholics, they want them to go to, religious schools. So they're in the city is the point in Boston. And so they're getting to go to record stores or, take the train or something after school. And so like getting actual present tense Boston music. And 89 is when Dinosaur Jr. covers Just Like Heaven. And this 12-inch is actually, I've shown it before in one of the non-Chartsweep kind of videos, but it's actually one-sided, and the B-side is like etchings. There's like a Rice Krispies box and lungs and brains and shit. But yeah, this was a big deal because, Dinosaur Jr. is clearly not the Pixies, right? Pixies are huge. 89 is the year of Doolittle. Doolittle is a huge crossover record. That gets to the suburbs. It gets beyond college radio. And that was a really difficult trick, to get past college radio and just straight out to like teenagers in the burbs. Not a lot of bands were able to do that. You're talking like Cure, New Order, REM, U2, level saturation and penetration out to the burbs. So because I have friends going to starting to go to school in there in the city, that's when I find out about like local music, like what is going on. So this was actually in 88, Lemonhead's Lick. And I got this, and that's when like, I only got to go to like a couple times. I got to go to a record store or a record fair because I was only 14. So this is the summer the Cure are on the Prayer Tour for Disintegration, and they completely blow up and get to number 2 on the US charts, which we'll get to with Love Song. I wasn't allowed to go see them because I was just 14, and my parents were like, no, you're not going to see that dude with the fucking hair and the lipstick. So I didn't get to go. My first concert was actually Sinead O'Connor the next summer. The summer of 1990 was my first like stadium concert. Because I wasn't into, like, if I wanted to go see fucking Bobby Brown or Debbie Gibson, my parents would have been fine with that. The point was I was already like pushing into, music that was overtly like off kilter, dark, slow, depressing shit like that. Like that's what I gravitated to as I heard it, as I heard more stuff, that's where the path I went down, right? Like so many other, of us. And anyway, when I found out about the Lemonheads, then I find out that there's a band down the street from my house that's like doing pretty well and is like going to shoot a video I'm hearing or something. And that was Blake Babies. The PO box on this is 3 PO boxes from my current PO box. But yeah, she, you know, she doesn't live here anymore, and her family, her mom left and everything. But like, finding out that there was a band that had like an album out that was touring that I could go see, and that was like, the person went to high school with my sister, was fucking crazy. And I still tag like John Strom and not as often Juliana, because she has to deal with so much bullshit. But like, I still, you know, hit him up on Twitter because, you know, this is foundational for me the way so many other local bands were for other people. And then I go back and I learn about the history of it, and I get like O Positive's Only Breathing. This was like 85, you know, this is the Throbbing Lobster one. And they had this song called Weight of Days. So this is something else, not to go on a tangent of nostalgia or whatever, but it's something that's definitely gone, which is that when you have local music, you don't expect them to be as good or as dramatic or as, you know, rapturous and structured, you know, cathedrals of sound that you get from Cocteau Twins, Cure, New Order, whatever. Local bands, you cut them a break because you can have access to them, and you can go see them, and you go see them in a club, and once in a while they'll write a song, you know, like Circle of One, the Lemonhead song that was so like affecting for young kids looking for, you know, it was like Boston's, I constantly talk about the Replacements' Unsatisfied. Circle of One was sort of like Boston's little Unsatisfied. Like it was dramatic for the Lemonheads to all of a sudden start writing emotional music, and like it became pretty chatty that like clearly Evan Danda was going to leave the band, and then it was like, oh shit, he's got a major label deal coming, and everybody sort of realized like the train was leaving the station on him, and then he went and did Lovey, which it's such a fucking good record, but that happens after. But that whole thing of a local, you know, music scene in the tier of like talent, like you give them a break. The singer can't sing that great, fuck it, you know. And that sort of thing just dies with the internet. And I mean, not totally, you know, obviously, because the internet doesn't take over everything. It takes a long time, despite the fact everyone has the internet, relatively speaking, you know, in the knots and stuff. The fact that you can distract yourself and selectively promote yourself online versus locally, it just it's not just about like tempo or information asymmetry or any of the other things I always talk about that you know have affect the nature of being a pop music fan prior to the internet. It's also like it's a sense of stakes. You've got stakes in your local scene, and this, you know, if you do your research or you read, there's that book everyone's talking about hardcore. Zach Lopez wrote a thing about it. I forget the guy who wrote it. It's got a picture of a baboon on the cover. Anyway, I haven't read it. I have it, but I haven't had time to read it. Point being, in hardcore, that was played out to the highest degree of like inter-scene beefs. You know, this is Boston, not LA, and every time Fugazi came up here, it was super fucking tense. Like it was not fucking cool at all, because they didn't know if like the fucked up you know, like the FUs and like Straw Dogs crew were gonna come out and like just start fucking bricking people. Like there was a really nasty, fucked up, thuggish hardcore scene in Boston by the late 80s. So like when we would go see these shows, like I saw Shelter at the Channel and like, you know, a bunch of these fucking hardcore bands, right? It was like fucked up and scary. Like I was like a fucking 16-year-old kid. This is a couple of years after this. And like going to these shows, it was just like these like 24, 25-year-old guys are like literally going to fucking beat up a teenager. It wasn't a good time. Like it wasn't fun. Hardcore sucked. It was, I mean, there was good music being made in some pockets, but the best of it was the early stuff when it wasn't like Scene Police and fucking Youth of Today and shit. I mean, straight edge, as much as you can say like, hey, it's great that, you know, you're not selling the idea of getting fucked up as a definition of cool, it also created a ton of tension because it's inherently judgmental. They would always be like, no, man, I'm posi-core. I'm not, you know, I'm not telling you what to do. It's like, yeah, you are, you know, and it just created a lot of tension and made things suck. So that's sort of one thing I wanted to talk about real quick. And the other is sort of a band that I didn't mention at all in the 80s that was so important for me and lots of kids, which is Camper Van Beethoven. And, you know, I've mentioned them before in one of the, you know, where I'm pulling albums in the early, you know, just like, what the fuck are we doing? You know, streaming shit. I pulled out some of them, but this is a box set that's probably out of print of their whole like West Coast period. And just Cameron Van Beethoven was Telephone Free Landslide Victory was 85. And then by this time they get signed and they're doing a major label thing, you know, with Virgin, and they cover Pictures of Matchstick Men, which was originally by the Quick. What the fuck were they called? Was it the Quick? I can't remember. The original is amazing. It's like classic late 60s, 67 psych rock, like Donovan, hurdy-gurdy man type thing. Morgan Fitcher, who ends up being the like violinist for the Grateful Dead, is on that cover. It's not on this box. I don't know why I keep pointing to it. Of Pictures of Matchstick Men. And this was another one of those ways that like you could get into a cool, different band. It was Status Quo. What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of Superman, the REM cover. I got the, sorry. Yeah. So Status Quo's Pictures of Matchstick Men. Yeah. Anyway. So the other one is Thinking Fellers Union, who are just getting started in 89. This is Tangle, which has only a couple of good songs. But Change Your Mind is awesome. It's really good. And there's a couple other good ones on here. But like the Thinking Fellers starts to blow up as indie sort of blows up. They become a band that's been around long enough to have some ideas. And by the early 90s, which, you know, I may or may not get to, they're a really important voice. The whole indie thing, it's really fractious. There aren't a ton of bands like full stop. There just aren't a ton of bands that are like have the ability and the time to become good and get signed. So, you know, the self-servicing of and self-promotion of, you know, independent bands, that whole scene, local aspect of it, the support, that's what really waters and creates the explosion of, you know, 7-inch culture and just hundreds and hundreds of fucking bands in the 90s in every city, you know, playing whatever the cool club is in their city. So, you know, that my awareness of these things, this is 1989 is when that sort of very first dawns. But like what I'm actually listening to is 100% like The Cure, like big time stuff. I didn't hear My Bloody Valentine until the Glider EP comes out. So I think that's 90. But my dates may be wrong. I had one of my friends, his mom knew somebody who would get those Just Say Yes or compilations or something. It's this college radio thing. Anyway, he would get promo CDs somehow, and he had MBV's Glider, and I heard Soon, and I was just like, well, it wasn't actually Soon. Like, I loved Soon, obviously. It was Don't Ask Why. The song Don't Ask Why, like, erased everything I had been building up and learning about music. Like, when I heard that, I was just, it was like, okay, everything else, throw it all away. Like, I mean, I still love New Order, I still love The Cure, and it's not like I threw out all my records when I heard Don't Ask Why by My Bloody Valentine, but my entire concept of what pop music could be, like that and Heaven or Las Vegas, all this stuff happening at the same time was completely fucking nuts. And over time, you know, and I've said in the past few videos about this idea that 88 to 92 is this incredible period. It certainly is. We're still all talking about all these fucking records in 2020. Kids are still arguing about these records. Kids, literal teenagers, are arguing about and hearing these records, and the adoration and you know, celebration of these records doesn't fucking stop. It's not like I'm, you know, pining for my youth. It's like my youth is still the fucking thing everyone's talking about. Do you know how fucking weird that is? Being like in your mid 40s and everyone is still talking about the same fucking shit that you were listening to when you were 15. Like, it's really fucking strange. Somebody mentioned Tweezes this year. Yeah, I've made my joke that literally nobody heard Slint until way after they'd broken up. And of course, there'll be like 3 or 4 people who were like 28 in 1991 who were like, oh, I heard that. I heard it the week it came out. I'm sure you did. I was like 16, and I can tell you almost nobody fucking heard Slint like when they were fucking teenagers. Give me a break. I mean, anyway. So yeah, let's get into 89. Let's blow through it and have some fun with the charts. You know, this is another thing that was funny. I was looking up like hip hop shit from this year, because this year is crazy. Because I don't know if Parker Lewis Can't Lose is this year, but there was a Fox, all the big Fox shows came out. 21 Jump Street, Tracy Ullman, Married with Children, fucking there was this show called Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which was about like a hipster kid. Corin Nemec was the star, and I don't know. Yeah, Big Daddy is so good. Mellencamp's Big Daddy. And yeah, Galaxy 500, I didn't even mention today in the last video. You know, one of the most important bands in my fucking late teens and early 20s, like all throughout college, made a bunch of friends out of the fact that I was into Galaxy 500, because not a lot of people really were. They were gone, broken up before they had like a good promo push on This Is Our Music, which is not a good record. I mean, there's like 3 good songs on it. On Fire, though, is like, I mean, yeah, it's great. It gets all the press, but today is I mean, they opened with their you know, masterpiece for me. Not to dismiss On Fire. I think it's a little bit too long. But anyway. '89. I got to do the chart, because if I do like if I go into the alternative song, because '88 is the first year Billboard has an alternative rock chart. It just started like 6 months before '89. The first, I told you in the last video, the first #1 on the alternative rock chart was Susie and the Banshees' Peekaboo. And '89, they're like, it was a really good idea we did this, because there's so much shit that comes out that is massive in this college radio sense that I've been banging on about, the feeding and watering of the, you know, 50,000 to 150,000 records sold kind of a thing. You know, the Church and all these bands, like, not everything is going to sell 10 million copies. And if you just keep promoting stuff that's likely to, like poodle metal and hair metal, everyone's going to get burned out, you know? So, you know, I mean, certainly at the start of '89, there's no sense that, like, again, there is a sense that things are separate. Like all this music I'm talking about, all this great shit, and the reason I did the separate video for '88, like, you know, the breakout of Manchester, baggy, acid, you know, fucking hip hop exploding, all that stuff, it's not getting serviced at all by FM radio, advertising, or the charts. It doesn't exist, but it is huge and doing well on its own, just at a different level. But I mean, '89 in the US, you're dealing with 2 records, Appetite for Destruction and Hysteria, that have been out for a while, but because of the dominance of the single format and of MTV, it takes a while for them to explode. But Armageddon It is still in here. Every Rose Has Its Thorn, again, Poison. That was a big winter hit around this time, and like every breakup, I mean, any breakup ballad like this, like fucking More Than Words by Extreme, which comes a bit later. There was the hair metal ballad is just evergreen, man, and it never dies. Phil's still in here, you know, with Groovy Kind of Love. My boys Duran Duran have All She Wants Is from The Outstanding Big Thing, which I did 2 whole videos about. George Michael's got Kissing a Fool. And you know, it's a lot of the stuff we talked about. One thing that I mentioned is Peekaboo does chart on the Hot 100. Peekaboo's in the 70s at this point, right next to Don't Worry Be Happy, which is still on the chart. So some things, like the #1 song on the alternative chart, is likely to be in the bottom 50 of the Hot 100, right? But the Hot 100 gets printed in the back of Billboard, and if you're like a music geek, you know, you're going to read it. And so you're going to see even in the charts, like, huh, that's strange. And this is another one of these, you know, awful cornball bands, the Escape Club, Shake for the Chic. Man, that band is so fucking bad. And the remake of Red Red Wine, somebody else called out, was doing really well at this time. But yeah, what did I just see that I wanted to mention that I couldn't believe was on here? Where's it? Jesus Christ, what did I just see? Doctor and the TARDIS charts in America as a novelty song. The Time Lords. It's at number 80 in the beginning of the year here, and yeah, unbelievably, it did okay. Pet Shop Boys Domino Dancing charted here too. I mean, it's pretty nuts. The breadth of this is like the UK stuff is starting to come back. You know, The Cure is huge, properly huge, and there's, I mean, exactly right. And that's the weird thing, because when I get through America and I go to the UK charts, it's like the disconnect is so fucking massive, because this is when it's like Jive Bunny and fucking hey, I mean, it's like the charts in the UK at this point are off. They're like English kids are in another fucking world. They're like, all this American shit is totally missing them. Poison is missing them 100%. Like Bobby Brown barely charts My Prerogative, which was a huge fucking smash over here. I think Milli Vanilli did chart there though, because they were being cross promoted the other way through. But Desire by U2, number 57, January 14th, 1989. Desire, Girl, You Know It's True. There it is. Starts out in the low 60s. Man, I mean, again, I associate Milli Vanilli with sledding, because this is January of 89. I associate them with like the first kid who had a car and we got to go to the hill and sled. Yeah, I'm gonna get to all the alternative shit like Nine Inch Nails. I know. Kylie's Locomotion is over here. Con-Can, I beg your pardon. Con-Can had a couple of sneaky hits, sort of like Laid Back, which you mentioned earlier, White Horse. The band Con-Can really like does not rise to the level of anyone being able to write some fucking, you know, blog post about how underappreciated they are, but they have a couple of solid fucking smashes, so check them out. Can't say you need to check out Boys Club and I Remember Holding You. Blame It on the Rain is greater than Girl, You Know It's True. It's also the same song. It's the exact same song. Angel of Harlem charting at the exact same time. Edie Brickell and New Bohemians, What I Am. Man, Edie Brickell is a fucking sensation, man. Shooting Rubber Bands at the Stars. I fucking loved this record. I still think the single Love Like We Do is just an all-time fucking smash mid-tempo classic. I mean, I was raving about Robin Hitchcock's Madonna, The Wasps in the 88 video. Love Like We Do is sort of similarly of that kind of drifting, you know, airy guitar pop. It's such a great single, and it was like the third single they released. It had this incredibly cool animated video that I'm sure is on YouTube. Really fucking groundbreaking shit. Like seriously, they had a lot going on, and they had a lot of money behind them, obviously, from Geffen. They felt like Edie was a legit fucking star, and then of course, you know, she ends up going into Paul Simon, and then it's time. Wild Thing. Tone fucking Loc, man. I had this fucking tape. Jamie's crying, Van Halen drum roll. Man, fucking this shit isn't bad. Like Delicious Vinyl, this whole crew, like they knew what the fuck was up. These guys were totally fucking solid. Young MC, Bustin' Move, like the backing tracks on this shit are way better than almost anything, except like we're gonna get to Diggable Planets and Do What You Like, and like there are some crazy fucking crews that blow up and start doing unbelievable shit. Not to mention 89 is Paul's Boutique, which, you know, that could go on forever. Finish What You Started, Van Halen, still charting. I called that out in the last one. But yeah, Edie Brickell was an absolute sensation. What I Am, Circle, Love Like We Do. There, Little Miss S. There's this little cute little song on there. It's just a great little body of work, that album. And they did another album, but nobody gave a shit about it. That first album, Shooting Rubber Bands at the Stars, is fucking great. You should have it in your collection. You can go straight through that whole thing. It's a good one. Sheena Easton had a ping back in the charts. That's right. The Lover in Me, man. That was a fucking washed out. But so we talked about Tone Loc. The other side of that coin is fucking bum bum ba straight up Paula Abdul. Man, that shit was, I mean, god damn it. The second you saw the video, you're just like, I might be seeing this every day for a year. Like you just knew this thing was fucking gonna control like a massive hook. Oh, somebody mentioned Sheriff, When I'm With You. Yeah, Sheriff's top 5. That was a big hit. And this is also the time of, I mentioned it in the last video, Smooth Criminal, the giant, you know, prolonged movie Michael Jackson did. No, Fine Young Cannibals will come later. That I mean, yes, they chart, but you know, yeah, the Shabazz Palaces guy was in Diggable Planets. Yep. And then Tupac was like before he did Juice, he was like, wasn't he a backup dancer for Diggable Planets, right? That's the big joke about where he came from. So yeah, in America, it's really all, oh God, the Bangles' last little hit, In Your Room, was this year. Nobody fucking probably goes back to that. If the Bangles have a greatest hits record, they should, I guess. In Your Room actually was a pretty good hit. Another big one was from Scrooged. Bill Murray's movie Scrooged was really fucking big. And it was massively boosted by a duet between Annie Lennox and Al Green, Put a Little Love in Your Heart. It's a great fucking version. It's a gorgeous video. They had a tie-in video. It really helped that movie. And it's a great movie. I mean, it's definitely a modern Christmas classic, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, Buster Poindexter is in it. Yep. AKA the New York Dolls lead singer, David Johansen. But yeah, Girl You Know It's True. Michelle Shocked is another one. Fuck. Michelle Shocked was Anchorage. God, she was really pumped up, heavy, like big fucking PR behind Michelle Shocked. And I mentioned like Shakeout Sister and stuff. Like there's a bunch of female artists that had pretty serious fucking like money and PR behind him. Michelle Shocked, that record was everywhere, man. Really iconic album cover too, actually. Yeah, but Traveling Wilburys comes out here in that winter too. Handle with Care. That Traveling Wilburys Volume 1, just get it. Go straight through that thing. That is a fucking seriously solid record. So the rise of Guns N' Roses is really is happening here. The charts and FM have sort of ignored them. It's taken forever, but like the ticket stubs are in and kids are fucking going crazy for Guns N' Roses. So you're talking Sweet Child of Mine is storming up the charts. And then Roy Orbison dies. So You Got It gets reissued. And I forgot that was at the same time as the Wilbur. He died like right around the same time. I don't know the exact dates, but yeah, this is also when I'm With You, Sheriff goes to #1. Unbelievable. And RIP, we just lost I forget his name, from Was Not Was. This is Walk the Dinosaur charts at this time too. Yeah, Michelle Shock just was everywhere. They were dropping that, like airdropping it. But the Poodle Metal is there. Cinderella's charting. Vixen is charting at this time. And another, like, not like Michelle Shock. Michelle Shock was very much like an alternative coffee shop vibe in her promotion, but Martika was not. Martika's More Than You Know. It was the first single. just like fucking ready-made 80s keyboard fucking trumpets. But More Than You Know has a great little chorus, and also for me resonates because the Warlock Pinchers had a fucking awesome rhyme that ended with sampling the chorus of More Than You Know. Welcome to the Jungle. Yeah, it's just treading water, man, down there. And all the hair metal is not really storming. What is storming, though, is Information Society. So this dude is out, I think, somewhere in the fucking middle of nowhere in the Midwest. He goes and gets, well, it's contentious who got this hairstyle first, John Lydon or the dude from InSock. But this was 89 too, Disappointed. This is the picture disc for Disappointed. Yeah, he's like a Minnesota legend, right? And then he spent all his money on a fucking car. Like, what was up with this guy? But Pure Energy had been such a fucking massive hit on Tommy Boy, and then they got Walking Away, which was more of a kind of a ballady Euro, Anglican pop thing, but it was huge. I mean, Walking Away was like stuck in the 10 to 20 slots for a month and a half, 2 months. And Erasure, A Little Respect, my favorite song of theirs, one of my favorite songs, full stop, of all time. A Little Respect is just an unending fucking perfect emotional pop ballad. It's just right in that middle of, and you can tell, they end up covering Salisbury Hill later. Like you can tell that they're going for that kind of elegiac, hysterical, religious ecstasy kind of emotion thing. Not religion, you know what I mean, but like a spiritual, I guess I'd say, ecstasy. That thing just rings from the fucking rafters, man. A Little Respect, just, oh, so good. And I just got the sheet music for this for my wife. Debbie Gibson's Lost in Your Eyes. So Debbie Gibson, she wrote all of these songs. That's the thing. Like, it's not necessarily remembered when you talk about a Martika or a Tiffany or even a Kylie. Debbie Gibson was like a child prodigy. She wrote like the whole fucking album almost. I mean, unless it was a deep marketing scam, but all the songs are registered to her in the Library of Congress. And like when you buy the sheet music, it says Deborah Gibson right on the top. So give her full credit straight up. I mean, as a teenager, she wrote all this stuff. And yeah, Lost in Your Eyes. Oh, so good. Oh yeah, we forgot. Oh man, I almost turned the page. We were talking about hair metal. Fucking Rat. Way Cool Jr. This was like the cheesiest fucking hair metal song. I think the only thing worse than this would be like one of the extreme funk metal songs on Pornography. Fucking Way Cool Jr. is, I mean, you gotta fucking go listen to this song. You can't believe how bad it is. Way Cool Jr. Like, I mean, Warrant, Damn Yankees, Cherry Pie, all that shit. Way more affecting and strong songwriting than fucking Way Cool Jr. Oh man, that was rough. Oh god, Way Cool Jr. I'm gonna have to listen to Way Cool Jr. tonight. So now Straight Up's number 1, Wild Things number 2. At this point, like there's a big explosion in this new thing. Like It Takes Two hasn't come out yet. That's in the fall, which I keep mentioning every video. It was just so fucking important, like from opening my eyes. But yeah, Wild Things, Straight Up, like we're starting to get really fresh. Like we're getting up to Rhythm Nation, 1814, Janet Jackson, like Miss You Much. You know, Bullet Boys, Smooth Up in Ya. Smooth Up in Ya. God damn, I can't lie. I had the Bullet Boys tape. I straight fucking own that shit with the bullet going through the apple, man. Smooth Up in Ya is a good fucking jam. Like, you know, I talk about Cinderella and how Nobody's Fool is the best hair metal song ever. It is by far. But Smooth Up in Ya was like, it had a little bit of a fucking, you know, 16th dugga 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 dugga. It's a good fucking song, man. Come on, Smooth Up in Ya. Watch out though, because there's a re-recording. And you know, there's also a re-recording of Pure Energy by InSoc. Information Society's Pure Energy on Spotify is some fucking half-ass re-recording of it. It's not the original. Thank God I still have the tape. But yeah, oh man, this is some grim shit. Rick Astley's She Wants to Dance with Me. It's just like de facto whatever. But here we go, man. Fucking this is when it hits. NKOT motherfucking B. New Kids on the Block. You got it. The right stuff, baby. I love the way you turn me on. You're like 13 singing this, dude. Yeah, New Kids on the Block, you know, basically, you know, Maurice was like, what if New Edition was white? That'd probably sell. And there you go. So that's New Kids on the Block. The good thing, here's the good thing about New Kids on the Block. New Kids on the Block comes out and it's like 12 and under serviced. You know, like preteens and tweens, they're all over there. That gets great separation. So you're not like maybe listening to the same, you know what I mean? Like this splits the whole world. So instead of it being like really treacle, you know, kind of, you know, 28-year-old, 25-year-old Martikas of the world, and Tiffany, and it's like really kind of Barbie-ish and so, you know, diminutive and condescending in terms of women and stuff. Well, now you finally got some teen boy pop-up shit, pin-up shit back, which has not really been in the market. So, you know, people would have thought this is never going to work. You know, they want like Swarthy, like the dude from Bullet Boys, who's such a fucking like obvious facsimile of David Lee Roth, right? The industry is sort of missed that because New Edition wakes them up to the fact that it's like, wait a minute, we need some of that. So yeah. Oh, Motley Crue, fuck yeah. Dr. Feelgood, oh my God. Kickstart My Heart, that song. Like, Motley Crue was deeply fucking uncool as hair metal when you're a kid learning about punk and shit and cool music, but like you could not fucking deny Kickstart My Heart. That shit fucking just crushes. The tempo is so fucking punishing. Like if you're a drummer, that is not fucking easy to play and play hard. Like that is a fucking sick tempo. It's really coked up. Like, it's major fucking coke rock. Like, so good. I have allergies. I am not on coke. But anyway. Yeah, then the corny ass Your Mama Don't Dance cover fucking Poison did. That was so lame. They were really already off the rails. God, I can't wait till you get to the 90s. I can talk about when fucking... God damn, that was the funniest shit ever. Arsenio was just like, Oh man, I'm deep. I'm not getting out of this one. CC DeVille's so fucked up. He just starts playing his own song and won't play their single like live on MTV. It's amazing. Bobby Brown, Edie Brickell, we're still there. I gotta pick this up. Big flavor of the spring of '89. Mike and the Mechanics' Living Years. That ballad was, and like the Mull of Kintyre video where they're on like some fucking grassy knoll and who knows where the fuck. My God, dude. That was so big. The Living Years. It was like, I mean, it's sort of a ripoff of Take Me Home by Phil Collins. But it's good. This is big fucking ballad hours, dude. The Eternal Flame, Bangles. Is this burning an eternal flame? Oh my God. Close your eyes. Give me your hand, darling. Can you feel my heart beating? Do you understand? Do you feel the same? Oh, it's a good jam. Bangles, always. And right after it, my all-time fucking sneak 80s jam, Roxette's The Look. I've never stopped fucking raving about this song ever, even when I was in my fucking 20s, like when I was writing for Pitchfork and all that shit. Roxette's The Look was a searingly fucking cool song. The video maybe wouldn't get played today, but obviously she's passed on now, unfortunately, sadly, but a long bout with breast cancer, fucking tragic. Like, because I mean, yeah, I love The Look because it's got like that alternative little bit of like Love and Rockets, synth rock and shit in it, but then they took the fucking world over with the ballad shit. Again, evergreen ballads, but The Look is so good, man. That song is just like, because also The Look has the first hard cut dropout that I know of that I honestly like. When everyone talks about Nine Inch Nails' Wish, where it's like because he cuts to negative tape, right? It's literally negative tape. There's no noise level, no signal. They did that in The Look before the last refrain of na 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 na. There's a hard cut where it actually drops the fuck out. They were the first ones that fucking did this, to my knowledge, as a move, as like an accent in a fucking pop rock song. That shit is good. That's a serious top 10, man. Girl, You Know It's True, Paradise City, GNR, Eternal Flame, fucking The Look, You Got the Right Stuff, and number 1, Debbie Gibson, Lost in Your Eyes. This is heavy hours, man. Heavy hours. White Lion, When the Children Cry. So like Scorpions and White Lion fucking like doing like message rock. Like I gotta wonder if these guys got a fucking Dewey and their public service was writing like a Christian ballad. I don't know. Like like that song is so fucking bad. Oh, Jody Watley, Real Love. Monstrous fucking R&B jam. Jody Watley's Real Love. Get that on your mix, your playlist, all that shit. I'm sure Perpetua's got all this on his 89 playlist. Start there and build your own. But and so then this is also when FYC pops. So this is the weird thing. Again, the marketing and the access to FM radio, where they're going to spend their money and where they're going to promote you, huge fucking firewalls across all of this. Oh, it's a college band. Oh, it's a 120 minutes MTV band, late night band. Oh, it's maybe going to go, weekend play. Super weird stuff. Fine Young Cannibals were so rapidly embraced and bought by kids from 120 minutes, which is where the video for She Drives Me Crazy debuted. Not on MTV, on 120 minutes on MTV at like 1:30 in the morning on a Sunday. The video, so it's the same director who does New Order's True Faith, and it has like a really resonant, like now, incredibly modern 89 look and feel to it. It's also one of the most original pop songs like ever. The snare production on She Drives Me Crazy, oh God. I mean, it's such a fucking great pop song. I love that. I had the fucking single of She Drives Me Crazy, and the guitar is just like, it's blooms in the beginning. It doesn't have Heart Attack. It's like wah 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 wah. Like it's such a fucking fresh jam. And plus the guys are dressed like sort of like mod kickback Vespa boys. Like the guitarist in the video's got the big blousy jacket, and oh, it's just so fucking fresh. The good thing hasn't happened yet. But that goes even bigger. That goes fucking ham. There's a great oh really? Good. Okay, link it out. I mean, I don't know. David Z produced Kiss. You mean Prince's Kiss or Art of Noise's Kiss? I don't know, because I mean, this isn't one I've gone deep on the producers, but I guess look that up. Yeah, the guy who did Prince's Kiss did, wow, worked on She Drives Me Crazy. That makes sense, I guess. Not just because of the falsetto, but yeah, I mean, so I had actually heard FYC because of my friend who moved here from England. He had those Now tapes, and that tape had Johnny, come home, we're worried, won't you come on, what is wrong in my life that I must get drunk every night, Johnny. And I love that song, but did not love much of the rest of that record. Anyway, it's just avalanche after avalanche, because what happens now? Stand, REM, Green. It's my favorite REM album, like no doubt. Green's my favorite REM album. It hits all the fucking notes they've ever had. It's growth finally, because honestly, if you go from fucking Reckoning to Document, it's like, guys, are you going to do a new thing at any point? I think the Wire cover is one of the only real like attempts at a move. And, you know, you're waiting, you know, REM's signed to Warner Brothers, you know, it's going to be like overproduced or glossier. And you know that, and you know, there's going to be a big video, right? There's going to be a big premiere. And then it was just like, and Orange Crush just fucking, I mean, who cares that the video was an amorphous blob of shit? It was such a fucking surprisingly tight, crushingly fucking tight pop song, rock song, excuse me. Stand being the pop song. My God, man. I mean, everybody was just like, holy shit. And then if you're early and you get the record, you get fucking Pop Song 89, you get Turn You Inside Out, and like all these fucking solid jams. You got that second song with the Carnival, Get Up. Oh man. And then the untitled last song, 4R. So many fucking great jams. And then, yeah, you got to listen to the 2-part podcast I did with Matthew Perpetua and my college buddy Elliot, where we go back for like an hour and a half and talk about REM. Cause there is it's probably one of my funniest moments was it's related to the song Hair Shirt. Anyway. So Paula Abdul is still number one when Stan comes in here in February, March. And it's marching up the charts because Stan was like, they were getting calls. MTV was getting calls, like, definitely play this fucking video again, because it was funny. And like he's doing you know, oh no, dude, it's not Green, it's Monster. The secondhand copies thing is Monster, not Green. I mean, maybe in Canada, Green is the Monster of used CDs, but Monster is the #1 used CD of all time. Nothing's even close. Like REM's Monster was almost issued to used CD stores. It was so overpressed and underbought. No one bought that record. Anyway, so let me get back on track. I dropped the fucking thing doing the Orange Crush drum intro. Follow me, don't fall. And then again, fucking Like a Prayer, Madonna. This video was so controversial, dude. Interracial making out, religious, you know, deep Italian Catholic, you know, North African symbolism. This shit was fucked up. People were freaked the fuck out. Like MTV was they were getting picketed and shit. A huge swathe of American culture was like not fucking okay with this, burning crosses. Like, what the fuck? It's like this totally hysteric you know, imagery festival, the Like a Prayer video. It was absolutely astonishing. And she was fine. Oh man, she was fine in that video, because I'm 14. I paused that video a few times. The top, the slip she wore in that video. Oh my God, man. Whew. I'm married. She's upstairs. Oh man, just weird one-offs. Fucking Room to Move and Emotion shows back on the charts, and Sapphire's Thinking of You. God damn, these are such weird little one-offs. I mean, another weird thing too is like 38 Special had a chart hit just by jamming it in. Fucking Second Chance. they put out an album with like a totally fucking corny like almost looks like a Foreigner album cover. God, they were lost. Another weird big fucking name in '89, Vanessa Williams. So she was a singer at one point, and she had this big ballad, Dreaming, that was like monstrously big. But yeah, so Stan gets top 10 in the early spring, right along with single number 2 from Tone Loc, Funky Cold Medina. No, it's not. I mean, Wild Thing is the song. There are a couple of other interesting pieces because I mean, I think isn't the guy that Tim? What's the guy's Tim or whatever that? What are you guys ranting about in the fucking? Is something fucked up? Oh, Twitch. You're talking about Ministry. Oh my god, dude. Let me try and get through this. What was I gonna say? Oh god, Winger, Sexy and 17. That might be the basement. I don't know if there's anything worse than Winger's 17. That shit is grim as fuck. And this is also when Cult of Personality, Living Color came out. This is one of the first CDs I bought along with Robert Plant's Now and Zen. I told you in one of the other videos I smashed it because they were so fucking corny at Lollapalooza and in the Glamour Boys video. But yeah, Cult of Personality, that song kind of fucking rocks though. It stomps like a fucking bastard. Great guitar tone, sick fucking drum production. Obviously these guys are all like studio class musicians, but yeah, that was big time stuff, man. Cult of Personality, that video, you know, wow. It got played a lot. Cyndi Lauper, I Drove All Night. Talked about this in another video. Talked about my absolute worship of Cyndi Lauper my whole life. Drove All Night is a really fucking great one, and another saucy video where they're playing old film on her nude body. But anyway, that Animotion song goes top 10. It's a little bit fucking weird in that way. Wow, Jody Watley, man, that shit was right up there. That was like biting Like a Prayer. Bad, right on the heels. And then big ballad, people don't remember probably because of the title, Bon Jovi's I'll Be There For You. These 5 words I swear to you, when you breathe, I want to be the air for you. Oh my god. So there's also the song I Remember You, which I think, was that Tesla? Who the fuck was that? It's the exact same song as I'll Be There For You by Bon Jovi. Really fucking weird situation. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, Skid Row. Sorry, yeah, Skid Row. Yeah, Maura's not here. I'm trying to get Maura to do an audio commentary for Decline of Western Civilization 2, The Metal Years with me. We're trying to schedule it, but you know, obviously COVID hours. Another thing that's going to come up as soon as I pull up the alternative shit, the Replacements. So this is their big shot, Don't Tell a Soul, which sucks. Apart from Aching to Be, which is one of my favorite Replacement songs, full stop. Aching to Be is amazing. But I'll Be You charts heavily here. So does Elvis Costello's Veronica from Spike. Another like introductory song for me. Hearing that sent me immediately to get the Girls, Girls, Girls compilation, which was just out at this time. It's a really fucking weird playlist too. That Girls, Girls, Girls comp is the best introduction to Elvis Costello. It's so strange because he assembled it himself and he wrote these really interesting liner notes for it. Really recommend you get a secondhand copy of Elvis Costello's Girls, Girls, Girls. I'm sure somebody's made a Spotify playlist out of it, but yeah, that shit was big time for me. Veronica, I mean that song, like I might have cried to that song when I was a kid. When I first heard it, it was very emotional. I don't know. I still love it. And our for the modern echo of '89, our vaporwave princess Enya, Orinoco Flow. That was in the Hot 100. And Enya is like, when you think about VH1, so MTV's like, okay, we got to figure out ways. There's too much shit going on. So they make VH1 for like, adult contemporary, basically. One of the biggest things that launched VH1 was Enya and this album. It was absolutely everywhere. Was it Caribbean Blue, and Orinoco Flow? Like These were big fucking hits on VH1. This shit got played a lot, and I loved it. I had the album. I hadn't heard fucking Victoria Land. I didn't know anything about ambient music. I didn't know fucking idea what was going on. It was just new sounding to me. But yeah, I had that shit for sure. There's 3 atrociously bad songs right in a row. Cry by Waterfront, Voices of Babylon by the fucking Outfield, who I've already gone into, and A Shoulder to Cry On by Tommy Page. Man, fuck, man. This is so grim, dude. So grim. Oof. We talked before, John Cougar Mellencamp's Big Daddy comes out this year. Pop singer, monster jam. Fucking great stomping track. His whole, like, you know, I'm old. He, like, the dude, like, he aged into his middle age just perfectly. Like, emotionally, he was totally fine with it. I don't know. I think he's always been so the age he is when he makes the music, you know, and it's rare that that's true. Like Robert Smith he's like always trying to write, you know, like a 16-year-old. Like he can't write anything meaningful. He hasn't since Wish. Sorry. And it's because of this problem with, you know, temporal dissociative whatever of something you've made yourself out to be. Mellencamp's just like totally fucking raw and real in that respect. And I've always loved him for it. Anyway, what month am I on? Christ, I'm only in May. Buffalo Stance, Nana Cherry. We talked about that in the last one. That was a big hit. Again, these are the MTV ones. And speaking of MTV ones that hit through, Ozzy and Lita, Close My Eyes Forever. God damn. This was probably, if I think of the most overplayed song of 1989, it's Close My Eyes Forever by Lita Ford and Ozzy Osbourne. And there's a hilarious shot in it where Ozzy, it's just a close-up on Ozzy, and he just goes like right in the fucking camera with these giant bug eyes, and we just used to laugh so fucking hard every time that happened. I don't know. Weird. The oppressive Wind Beneath My Wings, Bette Midler. Fucking Wine Mom music. This shit blows. Richard Marx, Satisfied, his like strutting rock song. I mean, I know Richard Marx is fucking down dude and he's cool and whatever, but that shit sucks. Good Thing. That's okay. So the summer, I remember Good Thing coming out in the summer. Fine Young Cannibals was like perfect summer jam. Yeah, everybody had that shit on. And it is funny because it's at the same time as Bobby Brown's Every Little Step. And I totally associate the two in my head. You missed the Debbie Gibson hours. Yeah. Oh, my God. Anyway, this is also the rise of Expose. So Expose is a really, really fucking crucial, progenitor, forerunner of the entirety of the 90s. All of the, you know, every one of these R&B female black artists, like Expose is the model for how all of that all the way through all of it. And they were really big out of the gate. What You Don't Know, which is an L.A. Martinez song. That's right. Wow. Crazy. Cinderella's big last hit, Coming Home. That was oppressively overplayed, Coming Home. Oh, fuck, man. And then the sort of song that defines, in a way, 89 for me, Love and Rockets' So Alive. This was a big hit. This was a big crossover hit. It was getting played in the daytime MTV. Like, it wasn't ghettoized to 120 minutes. It wasn't ghettoized to postmodern MTV. So Alive was a huge crossover. It absolutely charted way up, and it brought in this whole audience of new kind of like sort of goth, but more, it's almost like, yeah, there's a goth piece to it, but it was also like sexual awakening puberty audience in a way. So Alive. Like you're having your maybe first chance to be alone with a girl if you're heterosexual and you put on So Alive, like, yeah, it's going to work. But yeah, Motorcycle is the jam from that. And that was one of the first like hard fucking. So this is also the same year as Jesus and Mary Chain's Automatic. So these two are 1 and 2 for me. The Love and Rockets album and automatic. Like Head On. Fuck, dude. I can't even tell you how big that song was. Like, Jesus Christ. I couldn't possibly catch up to all this shit. But yeah, So Alive goes top 20. God damn, Head On is just an all-time jam. Great White, yep, they're in here. Once Bitten, Twice Shy. It's not a bad song. I don't give Great White shit. Not like, Winger. Once Bitten, Twice Shy is not a bad song. I mean, it's fucking hilarious that, like, you got a shark pun in your only big hit. I mean, and also that whole thing that happened in Rhode Island. Jesus Christ, I remember the day that happened. Fuck, when the club burned down. God damn, that was horrible. Because I knew that club, and I was like, Jesus Christ, if that happened. Oh, there's a weird crossover I forgot about. Jody Watley with Eric B. and Rakim, Friends. Big fucking hit. Go check that shit out, because that's not on any Eric B. and Rakim records. And then this is when it happens. Fascination Street. Fascination Street gets in. Fascination Street gets in the Hot 100. It's a big hit. It's on MTV. It's the launch single in America. Not Love Song. No. That's not what Cure fans want to hear. Like, what the fuck? Like, or general FM radio rock fans. Yeah, they want to hear Fascination Street. This, like, completely, like, fucking totally overblown, like 25 tracks of guitar, 7 different lead lines, just, falling over each other, consuming each other. It's the most original guitar work probably ever. Like, I talk about this all the time in the chord and to whoever. The guitar playing on Fascination Street is just, it's fucking flawless. And I mean, obviously it's one of the best bass tones also of like picked, chorused, treble crashed up bass. And it's just the interplay between that, even the fucking Roger O'Donnell, like fucking corny Kodo Blancs, bloop, 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 they sound fucking great. And then you had that extended remix where they totally overproduced and thinned it out, which, it sucks. But like when I was 14, like I remember fucking up in my room blaring that shit just because the kick drum was so much louder and everything. Fascination Street's one of the best rock songs ever. Like, just fucking thrash shredding, fucking like nonstop, new shit happening, new echoes, sends, sustain lines fading out. It's just, and then you got that low string, like there's a surprise solo. Like, you've already had one solo on the whining kind of high band flange, and then all of a sudden this fucking second one comes in at the top of the neck. It's just like, it's a fucking avalanche. Song is a monster. Like, To Hear Knows When and Fascination Street, in terms of the depth of guitar work, 1 and 2. That's a My Bloody Valentine song if you're not a big fan. And then here we come with Tom Petty, Full Moon Fever. So this summer, like, I Won't Back Down, Running Down a Dream comes out, and this is when kids are getting their license. That Full Moon Fever record, dude, is so fucking burned in my adolescence and my like kids getting cars and being able to leave the house and shit. Like, Free Fallin' we weren't that big into that, to be honest. But it was Learning to Fly and what's it called? The Apartment song. There's a super fucking Face in the Crowd. Fuck, Face in the Crowd and Learning to Fly, that both had that like it almost sounds like a Bones. God damn, Face in the Crowd still crushes me. I mean, that I remember, like, we were like one of the first parties we were ever at. I was like pining for this girl, and I just remember like playing Face in the Crowd like 3 times in a row or something. There were like other people in the fucking room. What the fuck? That's so bad. I can't believe I just remembered that night. Holy shit. That's fucking hilarious. It's so bad. Anyway. There's a shitty Milli Vanilli song. Fucking Baby Don't Forget My Number. Baby. Oh, that song fucking blows. That is some awful shit. No redeeming that, man. Milli Vanilli had 2. So then, okay, God, it just won't stop, dude. Fucking Bat Dance, dude. This is fucking Batman summer. This summer, you couldn't walk out your fucking house without seeing 87 fucking bat signals. Dude, t-shirt. Everybody had the fucking t-shirt. I mean, I cannot possibly convey to you the saturation around the original Batman, Michael Keaton Batman movie. It was like sickening. Like because I had already gotten The Dark Knight Miller. I had all that shit. I was like way into, this was the summer actually. I remember I got really big into graphic novels, which is like a huge deal, like Watchmen and all that. Like I got I had all that shit. And when the Dark Knight Compendium came out, it was like, oh fuck. Because your parents think it's a comic, right? And oh dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. Everything you bought had a fucking Batman logo on it. That gold Batman symbol from the original Batman movie. Like McDonald's, Burger, seriously, people would like throw the fucking logo at you. You couldn't escape it. Every kid was wearing this t-shirt. It was so nauseating. I just can't even, I wish you could understand how oversaturated the marketing on that movie was. But Bat Dance, I say, is a fucking seriously good jam. It's a great fucking song. I love it. I've always loved it. The video is totally shockingly fucking rad. With the split face makeup. He has a better Joker face than anybody. Yeah, it's a great soundtrack. I mean, honestly, we talked about the Black Album. I think a lot of his hardcore, this is before New Jack Swing, and there's, you're starting to hear elements of what, develops into that. But yeah, wow. God damn, this is overwhelming. I went on a bit about 10,000 Maniacs in the last one. Blind Man Zoo is this year. Trouble Me is the best song Fleetwood Mac never wrote. That's all you can really say about it. I love it, but I mean, it is straight up a fucking Fleetwood Mac song. So anyway, and then we get the onslaught of Patience. My God. Guns N' Roses Patience. I mean, it's just, you turn on the radio and be like, yep, the radio works because Patience is fucking playing. Really just unending saturation with that. But no, really music. But funny to mention, before It Takes Two, Joy and Pain was already a bigger hit. That was charting for Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. This was very much their year. Not that they have any other year. But yeah, Joy and Pain is an all-time classic hip-hop fucking, like put it on the list. So good. Skid Row. Goddamn, 18 in Life. What am I going to do with that? Fucking Skid Row. Oh my God. I gotta fucking get out of this. I'm only like halfway. Jesus. Oh, and then fucking The End of the Innocence is this summer. Don Henley. The End of the Innocence is a fucking good record. This is the Bruce Hornsby record. It's basically a project between Bruce Hornsby and Don Henley. Fucking The Heart of the Matter. Have you ever heard The Heart of the Matter by Don Henley? I mean, it's one of the best ballads ever. It's so fucking good. It's so good, man. End of the Innocence, the song itself, so fucking good. And a lot of people didn't have the fucking wherewithal to just be like, no, this is straight good. This isn't like grown-up music. This shit fucking rules. I was like, fuck you. This album's good. I mean, admittedly, the ponytail was some fucking weak sauce. And like, he's holding a cigarette on the cover. That's some bad stuff. But there's a couple of seriously fucking good songs on it. And I talked about Sunset Grill earlier in the 80s. Languishing. Someone needs to put, and you don't have to pay me the finder's fee. Put Sunset Grill, sync that shit into a fucking show ASAP. And credit me, but you don't have to pay me. And this is when Say Anything blows up. So In Your Eyes never charted. Like the way that, it obviously did. This summer, when Say Anything came out, how the fuck am I going to get to anything? I mean, seeing this movie was just like, it was so relatively raw compared to the Breakfast Clubs and the Ferris Bueller's of the 80s. Say Anything was like, that looks like just like a guy. John Cusack didn't even look like an actor. Like Ferris Bueller is like an actor. He's like elevated in some way. John Cusack's character, Jesus Christ. What the fuck? It's a classic name. Lane? What's his name? Dobbins. I can't remember. Lloyd Dobler. You know, this character is the iconic 80s character for someone like me, even more than like a Judd Nelson, which I was a little kid when that came out. Cusack in this movie, it's the first movie where he does the phone trick, which he does in every movie, which is the bit with the phone. He's walking around with the phone doing his phone bit. That's like his shit. He owns that. Cusack invented that fucking move. Walking around using the phone as a prop, as a bit, slamming it down, you know, asking the girl out, you know. God damn, Baby Newirth in that movie. Oh, it hurts, man. She's on fire. Everything about that movie is just fucking perfect, man. It's just perfect. It's fucking great. Yeah, there's no fourth wall bullshit and say anything. It has a super realistic sex or love scene in a car. It's so rich, man. It's so good. Lily Taylor's fucking character. Oh, Joe Lies. I mean, you know, these are for my generation, it's like exhausted almost reference wise, but like, yeah, I mean, it's not for me, like Cameron Crowe, like, yeah, Almost Famous is great, but it's really halcyon and picture postcard perfect. And it's a, you know, it's a composite. Say Anything is like real shit, real hours, really good stuff. The Cult, must not forget Firewoman. So the Cult's, Sonic Temple. Very controversial record, actually. Sonic Temple. Considered kind of a metal sellout because of his look, too. In like long hair. But Firewoman, it was almost a meme. Like, you're not kidding. It was seriously almost a meme. Because his voice was just so ridiculously like honking. Ah! Smoke shit on the rise. I mean, and MTV played the shit out of it, and it was sold really well. One of the most surprising things to me about the Cult is like the people I would meet who would have Cult records in their like library. They're like, "Damn, dude, you listen to the Cult? Shit, who listens to the Cult?" It's always like The Cure was too like feminine, or he wore makeup and that shit's GAY. At the time, somebody would have said. The Cult was like this middle ground thing where it like still rocked and it was still okay, but it wasn't as dumb as hair metal. And there's like this tier of person that's like doesn't go all the way for the mad crazy shit and get fucking shit faced and go crazy the way someone like me does or did, and is into like, you know, Bowie lipstick dares and wearing women's clothes and all that shit. Just like take it as far as you can take it. Fuck it, you know what I mean? There's this other tier that's like not as dumb as a jock, but like into decently cool shit. It's weird. It's really weird. I did not do makeup. No, that's the one thing I never did. I never wore makeup. I said that in the goth video. I wore all black. I got pictures I've posted of it. I wore all fucking black, like 8 layers of black, but I never touched makeup, never put any eyeliner, anything like that on. Oh God, fuck. We talked about Red Wine getting redone. Send Me an Angel 89. And I think I Melt With You. There's an I Melt With You 89 too, from Modern English. But Real Life did a re-recorded version of Send Me an Angel that did really, really well. And VH1 started playing the old video, which I think was from like 82 or 83, where again, I mentioned it in that chart sweep. Fucking, it's like an Arthurian fantasy video. It's so bad. Cinderella, Gypsy Road, they're about done. We're getting there. We're almost done. Oh, Christ, yeah. So Permanent Vacation comes out, and I think the lead single was Love in an Elevator. I don't think it was Dude Looks Like a Lady. I think it was Love in an Elevator, living it up when we're going down. Jesus Christ. So Run Down a Dream, Bang, Bust a Move. I already talked about Young MC, the Delicious Vinyl Crew. Massively legit. Not one hit wonder shit. Like, go back to those records. There's a lot fucking going on there. Oh God. Cher's If I Could Turn Back Time. You know, I talk about that Belinda Carlisle song, I Get Weak. These two just have that just the worst twinkly 80s awful keyboard chorus crescendos, just fucking brutal. Oh, man. That's tough stuff. Tough stuff remembering that. And then Hey Ladies gets in the charts here. This is, that's taken off. B-52s, that we're getting toward the end of the year. People don't like Love Shack is this year. That winner. Goddamn. Yeah, so Cosmic Thing, Jesus Christ. I talked about this in a video, probably the Drain Rain video. When Cosmic Thing came out, the first single was Channel Z, and they premiered it on 120 minutes. Knowing, like, having Love Shack on the fucking record and having heard it, that's not your lead single. What are you, nuts? No, it's Channel Z, and we got to get them on 120 minutes because they haven't done an album in a while and they're not cool anymore. We got to go slow with this. Fuck are you talking about? Love Shack ends up being like one of the biggest fucking hits of a 2-year window almost, because it just starts charting toward the end of '89 and it like is just rocking the whole fucking top 10 for weeks. So here we go. We're coming into the fall winter, and this is when Love Song, The Cure, hits the chart. I mean, I remember hearing Love Song on the way home from school on the bus in '89. And I asked the bus driver to turn it up. Yep. Yeah, man. Disintegration opened nothing shocking opened the door for me. A lot of these things I'd already heard. Kiss Me. I had it on tape, but like, it was like I had heard that stuff, but I was like bummed because I couldn't enjoy it because it was like late '88, and so I didn't have like a Cure of my own. It was like already over, and they weren't touring, and they weren't promoted, and they weren't around. So there was nothing you could like. I couldn't like hitch a ride on the Cure yet, and when Disintegration came out, I absolutely fucking hitched a ride for like the next 5 years on the Cure. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just it's number one on every fucking list ever. Whatever. And I I called it the same when I reviewed it for our number one list. So yeah, here we go. Slam in debuts at number one. Miss You Much, Janet Jackson, Rhythm Nation, 1814. Fucking Miss You Much is. So the same time I'm into the Cure and I'm getting into all this fucking shit and hardcore and punk and all this stuff. Miss You Much, like I fucking turn it up whenever that came on, man. Oh fuck, man, that hits so hard. There's so many cool little fucking sounds buried in Miss You Much. It crushes. And then look at the contrast between Miss You Much and what's number two at that time. Fucking Cherish by Madonna, the most bullshit fucking song she ever recorded. Cherish is such fucking trash, man. I despise that song. Ugh. Two Live Crew, Me So Horny. We talked about Miami Bass and shit in the last video. Obviously, this is way after it had already hit on the street. But it's legit. They're making money, and Two Live Crew becomes a crossover. So they're good. And Soul to Soul starts charting in America too at the end of this year. I actually associate Back to Life and Keep on Moving with Christmas of this year, Christmas of '89. When I hear, I think of Christmas lights when I hear Keep on Moving, Don't Stop, and Back to Life. Back to life. All right, let's wrap. Oh no, god damn it! I thought I was out. We didn't start the fire. We didn't start the fire. We didn't start the fire. That was also this Christmas. I really can't do Billy Joel. I can't do it. I can't do We Didn't Start the Fire. There's also, because there's a zeitgeist thing here. Born on the 4th of July, the Tom Cruise Vietnam vehicle. There was the Wonder Years show. There was this massive reckoning happening with the 60s. It'd been 20 years since 68. The late 80s, I went on about it, I think at the end of the 87 video, the one I did outside. In the late 80s, there was a really serious popular reckoning with the legacy of the 1960s. in the late 80s. It was a theme that was really like, it was going off. And when I think about this, the video for We Didn't Start the Fire and the fact that it's every verse is a decade. And I think that's what really made that song happen. In a massively legit way. I mean, everybody was starting to look back. They'd been 20 in 68. They're 40 in 88. And it's, you've gone through all this stuff, and that's what that song is. That song is almost speaking for the boomers, who at that time were, probably in many cases either doing well or not so well for themselves. It's the 40s, that's when you start to have real actual nostalgia. I mean, I don't know. That's all I can say about that. I can't go down that rabbit hole much deeper than that. Listen to Your Heart, Roxette, the true real big hit from Look Sharp. And Sowing the Seeds of Love. God, I hate that song. I do love the song that comes much after this in like 93 or something. And then Tears for Fears album, Elemental. There's a song called, it's like it's sort of like Pills, Disappointed, or Don't You Forget About Me. It's God, I love that song. I can't think of it. I can't think of it. Yeah, Forrest Gump. Also, that's a really good call out. Austin Sherrod, thank you. Forrest Gump, Born on the 4th of July. There's so much shit going on like this in the Wonder Years where you're digging through the 20 years ago, your childhood and all that shit. God damn, what's the song I'm thinking of? Break It Down Again. Jesus Christ. Break It Down Again by Tears for Fears. This comes later. It's a great fucking jam. But the one that was big here, Sowing the Seeds of Love, is really honky and twee, and I never liked it. But, this we're getting to the end of 89 in the United States. And I remember, so one of my biggest memories of this period is I got speakers for my birthday. I was turning 14. And I went to a stereo place, like they used to have stereo stores, and I wanted like high-end speakers. And we got, my dad got me Mirage speakers. I think they were like $300 a pair or something at that time. That's pretty serious money. And I used them for like 12, 13 years until I blew them. But I remember my best buddy, who was my best man at my wedding, he had not yet let go of Phil. And so one of the songs I remember testing the speakers with in the store was Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins. Think about it. That is some corny fucking bullshit right there. That should have been in American Psycho. Another Day in Paradise should have been in there. Man. Oof. Sharid. Okay, sorry. So Rhythm Nation and Miss You Much are both chasing each other around the charts. And so this is a great transition because it's taken a while for it to get over here. But Jai Bunny and the Master Mixers Swing the Mood does chart in America, which is sort of weird because where's it getting played? There's no video that's getting played on MTV. But it did chart. People were buying it. God Christ, Clapton's Pretending. Oh, I forgot about that. Dude, late 80s Clapton is some bad time. And oh God, fuck, I forgot about I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson. That bullshit song Will Smith, Jazzy Jeff did. Oh my God, I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson. That shit was so fucking bad. Oh, and then also around winter, that's when Lullaby, The Cure's Lullaby, did really big. It had obviously been tied in nicely with Halloween, but it really stonked pretty heavy. And I mean, just quickly, like the album charts in '89, you can't believe. It's like I've been telling you. Once you get past like 86, 85, 86, the album charts are ridiculous. They don't even change. Like it's the same thing the whole year. It's like Rattle and Hum is still charting most of the first half of '89. Bobby Brown's Don't Be Cruel is number one for like 2 months. Then Debbie Gibson's Electric Youth, and then Like a Prayer. And then The Raw and the Cooked, Fine Young Cannibals, Richard Marx, Repeat Offender, the Batman soundtrack, Dr. Feelgood, Motley Crue, Rhythm Nation 1814, and Girl You Know It's True. That's it. It's like 10 albums are number one. Oh yeah, the song for the film Rush. Yeah, that movie was fucking crazy raw for the time. Jennifer Jason Leigh, Jason Patrick vehicle Rush. That was honestly, it was really fucking gritty. Like gritty wasn't a thing. You didn't have gritty reboots of shit in '89. That was actually pretty incredible. But yeah, I mean, even the whole other, like when you go down the top 10 on the albums, it's still the same shit. It's, you know, it's Steel Wheels, it's Full Moon Fever, it's Hangin' Tough, New Kids, Forever Your Girl, Paul Abdul. The album charts are so, the distance between what's doing like top 20 business on the album charts and the rest of it is just vast. But yeah, I mean, just to close the loop on the alternative stuff, you know, I talked about Camper Van Beethoven, Pictures of Matchstick Men. It was a big fucking deal. In another video, I talked about the Ocean Blue. This was their big, you know, Between Something and Nothing was big. And I also talked about Hoodoo Gurus, and This Is the Year Come Anytime comes out, which is such a fucking good song. Come Anytime, and if you can't make up your mind, well, don't we? God damn, that's a good jam. Hoodoo Gurus, Come Anytime, get that. I showed you the 12-inch, you know, for Pills, Disappointed. This was a big one. Already talked about Elvis Costello, FYC. I did a 2-part podcast on XTC if you want to go back, but Oranges and Lemons was a big record for them this year. They had 3 solid hits on it. Mayor of Simpleton, which I still think is a great track. King for a Day. I forget the third one. You know, we've gone through a lot of this already because it was charting in the bottom half of the Hot 100 in the US. The only sort of weird ones that didn't, you know, cross over in that way, I guess, would be, it's hard to say. I'm trying to think. I guess, I mean, this was the year Dead Milkmen did, I think this is the year of Beelzebubba with Punk Rock Girl. I think Punk Rock Girl is 89. And, you know, that was big. That was on MTV for sure. I don't know if it got there this year, but that was big. So that record, I think it came out in 88, but Mind Bomb did some business for sure. Beaten Generation. And then, what was the other one? I gotta fucking think. What the hell was it? Did it come out this year or was it the year before? No, it was this year. Okay, good. Cause that's one that's really, really huge to me. One of my favorite songs ever, actually. But it's so yeah. And then the other thing too, yeah, the Morrissey thing is weird because it's mostly in 90 when all that stuff hits. But the song I was thinking of is Yeah by the Pogues. It was a one-off 12-inch. It's like a tribute to, like, you know, Shindig, Ready Steady Go, kind of like, you know, 60s 60s like go-go dancing shit. The Pogues, I don't know why, but yeah is just always been a really resonant, powerful tune for me. I mean, you think about like The Commitments, that movie, I think it was this year or the year after. That movie was the original sort of like the Full Monty, the original like semi-realistic, you know, low stakes, you know, Irish, or in another setting, it could be like Midlands, whatever, just, you know, working class, low stakes, daydream kind of thing. That movie was enormous. It's still great. I mean, it's not as good as I remembered. Obviously, when you watch it, it's like, God damn, this is like major studio filmmaking in the 80s. But yeah, I mean, this year was so big for fringe shit, and like Ministry, Mine Is a Terrible Thing to Taste is this year. Stigmata, I told in another video, I talked about how I saw that on 120 Minutes. And you know, the Nitzarev's Belief comes out this year. Like real Leibach is doing shit. Like industrial is becoming a totally different thing. It's becoming a thing, I guess is how I'd put it, because to this point, there's too much Einsters and the Neubauten kind of experimental, post-throbbing gristle kind of hard art that's infecting or coloring a lot of the industrial shit. industrial as like pop music, harsh pop music, and sort of the legacy of EBM, electronic body music, it really starts to bloom here. Ministry has been doing kind of, mid-tempo, every day is Halloween, kind of, Anglican worship shit. They did Twitch out in England when he was like all on speed and shit. But with Mine Is a Terrible Thing to Taste, like Burning, it's not Burning Inside, sorry. The Missing and Stigmata and Deity. Just, a punishing fucking record. So I bought that tape this summer. The summer of '88, I went up to a lake in New Hampshire with my best friend and my parents. And while we were there, I bought Mine Is a Terrible Thing to Taste on cassette and the single for Fascination Street that summer. But yeah, I didn't even get into hip hop. This is the whole thing, like third base, like kind of novelty hip hop. That's why I mentioned Parker Lewis Can't Lose at the beginning. There's a bunch of weird shit in hip hop this year where it's like Special Ed, I Got It Made is this year. So while you have Hey Ladies and you have Paul's Boutique and you have like De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising and you have like big shit, DOC and EPMD both had big shit this year too. But like Just a Friend, Biz Markie, he gets marginalized as a novelty act, even though he's obviously not. It's there's great shit. There's Gangstar, Jungle Brothers is this year. But there's still kind of like an annoying novelty thing to the marketing. So I don't know. It's sort of weird like that. But those are the big ones. Third base is just, I don't know. For me, Gangstar was because they moved to New York from Boston. So there was like a lot of people in Boston wanted to be like Gangstar, like it was like, I was like supposed to be our rap band because our rap act, because we just didn't have one at all. And then, because LL still has, that's right. LL Cool J hasn't even turned the corner yet at this point. Yeah, it's a weird period. Mine's a Terrible Thing is Thieves. Oh yeah. I'm talking about Land of Rape and Honey. And I kept saying Mine Is a Terrible Thing to Taste, didn't I? What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, Pretty Hate Machine. No, I hated Nine Inch Nails. Absolutely fucking hated Nine Inch Nails. That was drama club music. That shit was for like weak fucking dorks. No, like straight up, like you gotta understand, like Nine Inch Nails was not embraced at all. Pretty Hate Machine was considered like, words I can't really use anymore. Just say wimpy. Because he's just whining. His voice is so fucking annoying and nasally. I couldn't fucking stand Pretty Hate Machine. I thought it was the corniest shit ever. I'm not lying. I loved Ministry. I thought Land of Rape and Honey was amazing, even though I was saying the wrong album title. Yeah, but no, Nine Inch Nails was not what you think it was. Yeah, Head Like a Hole got played. Down in It was a big fucking crossover hit on MTV and everything. But like, also like seeing him live, exactly. You pussies probably know this one. He literally was yelling at the crowd, and he's like, the second act, like it's daylight at Lollapalooza, and he's on in like spandex and shit. Like, what a fucking cornball. So yeah, no, I did not like Nine Inch Nails. The first Nine Inch Nails thing I remember liking was the cover of Get Down, Make Love, which is actually Al Jorgensen did it. Trent Reznor doesn't do anything but sing on that. So somebody had the single. It was the single for Down in It or the single for Head Like, I don't know. One of the singles had Get Down, Make Love on it. And I thought that was awesome because it sounded like Ministry. But it took me a long time to get. I always thought Head Like a Hole was okay. I always liked that song. But, Something I Can Never Have didn't hit me until much later in life. I really had to go back to Nine Inch Nails, and I still don't think, I don't think anything he did. I don't like The Fragile. I don't like Downward Spiral. I don't like any of this shit. I never liked this guy. I thought I liked the song Closer. I liked, that I already talked about that song, the one Wish EP. I I didn't like March of the Pigs. I don't know. I just never liked the guy. I just thought he was always a bitch. Trent Reznor's always been a bitch. He's just a fucking whiny, bitchy, annoying fucking dude that nobody wants to be around. Stone Roses was, I already covered it in the last one. But anyway, Thousand Homo DJs. Yep. Supernaut. Hey Asshole. That was good shit. Oh, the Sugar Cubes follow up Here Today, Tomorrow, Next Week with Regina. Ha ha. I think that's on that one. They were pretty much done. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could do another bit on 89, maybe. I don't know. Fuck, I didn't talk about Michael Penn's No Myth. Oh, God. I was so huge into fucking Michael Penn. That album, March. Oh. Yeah, so go listen to No Myth. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a part 2. Fuck. Dude. I can't. I haven't thought about that. And this is fucking Buffalo Tom's first record came out this year too. The one Jay Mascis produced. That was like one of the first, like the Blake Babies, Earwig, and the first Buffalo Tom record, which they can't even play on it. There's only one good song. Both came out this year, so like this was like my first, buying local music. God Christ, there's so much shit I haven't even talked about. God damn. I don't know. I gotta shut it down. I've been doing this for fucking way too long. Was I Romeo and Black Sheets? I didn't mention Beautiful South either. No, I mean, because that did well. I didn't even go through the English charts yet. So I guess I'm just gonna do a part 2. Fuck it. This just went on way too long. I'll just hit it hard, and we'll skip all the American shit I already talked about. We'll go UK hip hop. There's a bunch of shit I didn't get to. I didn't even talk about any of the dance tracks, the fucking, all the Hacienda shit. This is so you'd had the Summer of Love. This is the summer when like everyone was like, I gotta go rave. I gotta get my fucking rave on. Like summer of '89 was fucking ridiculous. I can't even imagine what it was like. I would have loved to know, but I mean, yeah, for 3-4 fucking years, everyone's just dying to rave. Got to get my rave going, doing poppers and, freezing their brains and shit. Nitrous was, God, everywhere. There's just, I mean, yeah, it literally, I haven't even begun to crack open the shit I could have. So I'll just have to do a different one. You're watching 24-Hour Party People this morning. Yeah, that'll do it to you. I can't watch that anymore because I just end up drinking like a fucking shitload and regretting it the next day. He's a good. He's Ebenezer Good. I mean, Christ, I didn't even talk about this. I didn't even talk about the Mekon's rock and roll. Like, again, it's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's in the Evie Sands video I did, but God damn, this record. I mean, this is one of the ones I learned to play drums along to. Yeah, got drunk on Pernod. Yeah, well, you can't not get drunk on Pernod. But yeah, if you read all the New Order books and dirt that's come out, it's like, holy shit, they were drinking like a bottle of that shit a day. Fuck. Like Bernard Sumner used to put it in orange juice, which is the fucking grossest thing I've ever heard in my life. He makes the joke. He's like, it's basically like drinking toothpaste. Yeah, I can't imagine how fucking gross that would be. Pernod and fucking orange juice. What? Cool. All right. So I wanted to just end this whole chart sweep thing, but we're going to have to do a bonus round because there's just way more from 89 that we just didn't get into. Oh, and I did pull all the Mesthetics homework, most of it. Shit. So I'll try and rip those. Oh, God damn. That was exhausting. Too many memories. My boys.